If we made a video about every controversy Sean Combs has been involved in, then we might just break the record for having the longest video on YouTube. Despite having an illustrious career and being the man behind one of the greatest rappers to ever exist, Diddy has somehow been involved in several scandals, most of which are enough to get him behind bars. And just recently, Homeland Security raided his home, and we even saw his two sons in handcuffs. And as crazy as it sounds, this might just be the beginning of the end for a man who's had a long list of accusations over the years. These accusations began with his ex, Gina Nguyen, in 2019, who claimed that the rapper physically and sexually assaulted her for years, even going as far as kicking her in the stomach. Then, 4 years later, in November 2023, Cassie, also Diddy's ex and R&B singer, took the rapper to court over allegations of sexual abuse. The singer mentioned that he constantly physically and sexually abused her throughout their relationships and even forced her to be intimate with other men. And when she refused, he hit her across the face. After meeting Diddy in 2005, Cassie was confident she had found the man of her dreams. But this dream quickly turned into a nightmare when he began to control every aspect of her life. If she had to call somebody on her phone, then she needed permission from Diddy to do that. And to keep her under his control, Cassie said he always forced her to take an insane amount of illegal drugs. In fact, on Cassie's 29th birthday, Combs forced her to leave her party early because he wanted to introduce her to other men, and she knew this was going to eventually lead to something sexual. So she refused, but this only pushed the mogul to physically assault her again. Diddy and his team settled Cassie's lawsuit in a day, but his legal team claimed that this was not him admitting that he did those things, but was just an attempt to clear them off his table. But it wasn't just Cassie. Just a few days after Cassie's lawsuit, another woman named Lisa Gardner came forward with some brand new allegations. Lisa explained that she met Diddy and Aaron Hall in 1990 or 1991, and they all returned to Hall's house after a party. At Hall's house, Diddy was alleged to have sexually harassed Lisa, who said she was shocked and traumatized by the experience. This situation reached its breaking point when Diddy later arrived at her house the next day, attacked her, and threatened her to keep quiet about what happened because he was worried she would tell his partner at the time. This was bad for Diddy, right? But it somehow got even worse. On the same day, another woman, Joy Dickerson-Neal, came forward with more allegations. This woman said she went on a date with the rapper several years back, but she had no idea that he had secretly drugged her drink. Then he took a video of himself assaulting her and shared this video with his friends. Even though Neal filed a police report at the time, most of the witnesses refused to speak out of fear of Diddy. And just like they did with Cassie, his legal team dismissed these allegations as baseless and fabricated. Just when we thought it was over, one more case appeared in court on the 6th of December by a woman who refused to reveal her identity. Addressed as Jane Doe, this woman shared some pretty chilling stories. It all started when Jane met Diddy at just 17 years old, and she accused him of collaborating with his lieutenant, Harvey Pierre, to sexually assault her in 2003. Her lawsuit also claimed that Jane was trafficked across state lines in a private jet, forced to take drugs, and then recorded without her permission. In an even more shocking twist, the victim had receipts. She provided pictures that were allegedly taken in the studio where she was assaulted, and there is one where she can be seen sitting on P. Diddy's lap. In 2024, Diddy probably thought the accusations had ended with 2023, but in February 2024, things got even more intense. Rodney Jones, or Lil Rod, is a producer and videographer who previously worked with Diddy, and this job required that he lived with the mogul between September 2022 and November 2023. But while this was an opportunity that many videographers would die to have, Lil Rod admitted in his lawsuit that it was nothing but hell. The videographer claimed that he was a victim of sexual abuse, adding that the bad boy exec constantly groped him without consent. In fact, Rod once woke up naked beside Diddy, having no idea how he got there in the first place. However, that wasn't everything Rod had to say. As the official videographer and editor for Diddy's team, he got access to a number of footage and recordings of Combs, most of which, according to Rod, were definitely illegal. Not only did it involve drugs, sex, and abuse, it also provided proof of assault against minors. Rod was also worried that Diddy was grooming him so he could pass him to his friends. While on a yacht for a party, the videographer realized that Cuba Gooding Jr., a good friend of his employer, was touching him inappropriately, suggesting that Diddy had given Cuba the go-ahead. Finally, on the 25th of March 2024, Diddy's houses in LA and Miami were raided by federal agents in an investigation into sex trafficking, sexual assault, and distribution of illegal drugs and firearms. It's also worth noting that Lil Rod's lawsuit mentions a certain drug mule, and this same person was arrested on the day of the raids in Miami's Opa-locka Airport. However, TMZ later reported that the suspect, Brendan Paul, was arrested with cocaine, and it had no connection to the raids on Diddy's houses. Now, back to Diddy. These allegations have hurt Diddy's career way more than he must have anticipated. Even though his lawyers have claimed that he is working tirelessly with the authorities to clear his name, this hasn't stopped several brands and organizations from cutting ties with him. And the media company that the rapper started in 2013, Revolt, was the first to cut ties with him, as he was made to temporarily step down as the chairman. Capital Prep Harlem, a charter school that he started in 2016, also made an announcement that they would no longer partner with Diddy in light of the recent accusations. Did you also know that he has an e-commerce platform called Empower Global? Well, at least 18 companies which partner with his brand have chosen to show themselves the door. Before these allegations, Hulu had a show in the pipeline called Diddy Plus 7, and this show would have followed the lives of Diddy and his family, giving fans a closer glimpse into the life of one of hip-hop's most powerful figures. Hulu had dreams to make this bigger than Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but they would definitely be in hot water if they decided to go on with this, so the show has been canceled till further notice. Do you think Diddy would be innocent if these cases eventually go to trial? Or are you like 50 Cent, who thinks it's finally time to make that Surviving Diddy documentary? Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. These next few months are definitely going to be defining for hip-hop culture.